Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel where we share safe real estate investment tips, talk about property law, and share credible real estate investment opportunities here in Nigeria. Basically, every video on this channel is an asset to real estate investors and property buyers. Finally, on this channel, every subscriber is family, a family of millionaire real estate investors. Welcome. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Raymond Dijoma and I'm a real estate entrepreneur as well as a property lawyer here in Nigeria. Alright, now before you go into any real estate transactions, remember that real estate is a technical field. There's also the law angle to real estate transactions, and that's also another technical field. When you put these two factors together, the legal angle and the technicality of real estate transactions in itself, you will realize that there are lots of terms in the industry that you may not be aware of, but are very, very important to every real estate transaction. They are very, very important to every real estate transactions. I'm going to try to give you 10 of those very important terms in this particular video, but I will encourage you to check out my book titled Don't Get Scammed. All you should know before buying any property in Nigeria. That book encompasses about specifically 40 of those terms, 40 of those everyday use terms and phrases in the real estate industry or real estate transactions that really help you to play safe, stay smart, and just be on the good side of the transaction. All right, so I'm going to go straight into the conversation. But if you have not subscribed, do it to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you get notified whenever I post amazing content like this very one. First, let me establish that real estate, land, and property could be used interchangeably in real estate transactions. And by interchangeably means that sometimes you can use real estate, other times you can use land, some other times you can use property. But in layman context, they have their different meanings. But I'll leave that and rush into the ones I've pointed that I'm going to address to you today. And the first I have in front of me is offer and acceptance. Yes, offer and acceptance. This is somewhat a business term, a contract term. It's legal, and there's the offer and there is the acceptance. You need to understand not just the word offer and the word acceptance as an English term, but you need to understand the legal implication of these two words. What I need you to get out of this is when you are transacting, when you make an offer to somebody that you want to buy, right, and both of you settle a price, then he or she or the company, whoever is involved in that side, accepts that offer. Largely, a contract is established, and the moment a contract is established, if you breach that contract, you most likely will be liable for damages, depending on if the person pushes after that. So you must be careful when entering the point of offer and entering the point of acceptance, especially when your transactions are through correspondence. By correspondence, I mean you are writing letters to do negotiations and all of that. So there's a tool you can apply here to ensure that you are safe, but I'm not going to discuss that with you right now. Okay, but it's important that I need you to understand that offer and acceptance are not just words that you use on a normal day. They're words that you may not even hear them in conversations, but it plays out on everyday real estate transaction, and they have implications. So this is to bring it to your consciousness that these words are important. These phrases are realities in everyday transactions, and you have to be careful when you are crossing the line. Okay, so that you're not you don't innocently breach a contract that would make you liable or end up losing a particular property, a particular deal, and anything related to that transaction you are doing. So you must be careful of the concept of offer and acceptance. Number two that I have here, like I said, there are 40 of them in the book, but I picked out 10 that I'll just share with you. And number two, transfer of title. Transfer of title is a phrase that is common. However, there is a technical point when transfer of title is done. Transfer of title is not done when you make payment. Transfer of title is not done when you sign contract of sale. Transfer of title is done when deed is prepared, and transfers in interest is transferred from one person to another, where parties intentionally transfer titles from one person to another. Much further in the book as well, you would discover the what constitutes a title document, what constitutes a good root of title, and what even is a title document. That is extensively explained in the book, right? And but that's what I really need you to understand is the point where title is transferred is not the point of your contract of sale. It's not the point where you pay money to the person's account. There are further factors that constitute what a transfer of title is, or what transfer of title is. All right. And the third thing I have in mind here is title document. What are title documents? You need to understand that title documents are pretty much documents that transfer title from one person to another. It reveals the whole owner, it reveals the details of the property, and ultimately transfers title of ownership from the buyer to the seller, from one person to another. There must be that intention, and that duty of transferring interest must be deliberately performed and seen to be performed or detailed in the title document. That is important, and that is what constitutes a title document. But there's further explanation in the book, and of course, you can get that book on any of my digital stores on Amazon or on Seller. And then the link on the description section of this particular video, the first link on the description section of this particular video, will lead you to where you can easily get access to any of my books or this particular one I'm talking about in this video. And number 4, recital. What is a recital? Recital is, for me, a very critical aspect of every title document. The recital is critical, and it's that paragraph in your title document that usually introduces the parties and displays or briefly tells story of the history of the land, how it flowed from A, the root of title from A to B to C to D, and all of that. And that is important. The history of the land is important, and that is what makes the title document an important aspect of your title document. Sadly, let me not say a lot, but I see a lot of title documents that do not have that do not possess that recital, that cannot trace the root of title. And that, in my opinion, pretty much is not a nice thing to do, especially considering 20 years effect on such transaction. Peradventure, that land is subjected to dispute. And then number 5, consideration. What is consideration? I'm sure you've heard that once or twice in some real estate transaction, and it's mostly used by lawyers. But simply, consideration is generally what is given in exchange for another. So you can give a land, you can give a car as consideration for a land. You can give money as consideration for a land. You can give your service as consideration for a land. So basically, what you exchange in what you give in exchange for the land that you're seeking interest in. And number 6 is a plot. A plot is another very vague concept in the real estate industry and real estate transactions, and then it largely now falls back to issue of location. Okay, so for some places, 100 by 100 is one plot, 50 by 100 is one plot. Some other places is 60 by 120. That's Lagos. Benin is 100 by 100. Delta is 50 by 100. Some other places is 80 by 120. So that largely depends on the location. However, what you should know is that you must pay attention to your location and find out from other persons around your location what makes up one plot. Make sure that person really, really knows. And you can move from that point to the point where you survey your land. When you survey your land, you cannot determine the size of your land with meters or square meters, depending on what the surveyor uses, right? But basically, you can determine further the specific details of the size of your land using engaging a surveyor. All right, but basically, a plotting is used to mark out the area of your land, the size of your land. And number 7, how many minutes are we? 9 minutes. I think I should end it at this 7. I should end it at 7, and I'll discuss the issue of recital. I discussed this of assent, deed, and deed of confirmation, accession in process, accession itself, and gazette. I'll discuss those ones in another video. Excuse me. So let me discuss the last one here. 1 acre. An acre rather. An acre is a basic standard of unit of measurement. All right, and also because of the different in size of plotting, or different in plotting, or size of plot in different locations, it also affects what makes up 1 acre as per plots in a specific location. So for instance, in a place like Lagos, 6 plots make up 1 acre, while for somewhere like Benin that uses 100 by 100, 4 plots will make up approximately 1 acre. All right. So, however, 1 acre itself is a constant size or unit of or basic standard of measurement, right? However, what you should consider is the difference in and then the most important thing I needed to take care. In fact, I didn't know this until I even came into the industry, and then while studying title documents, I realized that I was seeing acre and I was also seeing hectare. I was seeing ACRE, and I was also seeing HECTARE. I initially was thinking both were the same thing until I intentionally said, okay, no, I need to check this out myself, and I realized that they were entirely different things, and a hectare is bigger than 1 acre. As a matter of fact, 1 hectare is about 2.5 acres. 1 hectare is about 2.5 acres. So you most likely may be buying 1 acre, 1 hectare, and they end up writing 1 acre for you in your title document, and that is a big problem. All right, thank you so much for watching this particular video. I planned giving you 10, but I'm short of time. I do not like my videos to extend beyond 10 minutes, so I'm going to leave it at 7 I just gave you. And importantly, you can get this book and get 40 of these terminologies, as well as a lot of other content as it relates to your doing property transactions in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, the book has 7 chapters, and chapter 1 is it talks about terminologies. Don't let anyone confuse you. Chapter 2 talks about the role of law in all real estate transactions. Chapter 3 talks about what are title documents and how to know a good route of title. Chapter 4 talks about the right steps and procedures of purchasing property. Chapter 5 talks about the 22 rules you must obey if you want to play safe and smart, and wise transacting, or wise carrying out any real estate transaction, or basically buying properties. 22 rules you must obey. Chapter 6 talks about the Land Use Act and the certificate of occupancy. Chapter 7 talks about, do you really need a lawyer? These are the chapters in this particular book, and again, it is titled Don't Get Scammed: All You Should Know Before Buying a Property Here in Nigeria. And then the subtitle is Land/Property Transactions in Nigeria Come with a Lot of Peculiarities and Underlying Issues, Mostly Born Out of Ignorance. But with this book, every land/property buyer is safe and smart. All right, so that's what the book has for you. So you can check out the link in the first link on the description section, and you get access to that book for a token compared to the value it brings to you, especially as real estate investment is capital intensive. So imagine investing between $6 or $5 or $10 in order to save $1,000 or $2,000 or more. All right, so that's basically what the book brings to you, and that's what I have for you today. Again, my name is Raymond Ijoma, and I'm a real estate entrepreneur as well as a property lawyer here in Nigeria. I encourage you to subscribe if you have not subscribed, and do well to stay in touch. Thank you and have an amazing day. Bye-bye.